Okay, I wanted to create a real quick video. This is an interesting problem that has come up. This student has a relay here for the relay assignment that does not match, right? The format of the assignment, like it's not the same relay. It's a relay that will work, okay, but it's not the same relay. It's not wired to function properly the way it was put together. So I wanted to real quick kind of go through, like if you're faced with this situation in the future, kind of real quick kind of how you would deal with it, right? So my first thought was, right, we should find the documentation for the relay that that we were supposed to use. Okay, so I've done that. I went out to SparkFun. I'm going to back out of this one spot. So I went to SparkFun. I found the relay. This is the relay that's in the kit that we're supposed to be purchasing. I went to Documents and I went to the data sheet. Okay, so that's going to give me the data sheet for this. And what I'm looking for is this little diagram right over here. So you see this little diagram. We've got two pins, right? And they're connected, and then I've got a pin, and then it kind of clicks back and forth there, right? You see that between those two. So if I were to then look at the picture of the, I gotta find it now, the picture of our relay here, it looks like the relay's upside down compared to this picture, right? Because what it looks like is we got the two across the top, and then we've got the two on the side and the one on the opposite end of here. So this right here is the control back and forth mechanism. So this is the switch, right? So we have power one way, power the other way, power one way, power the other way, right? And then this is the solid piece here. So the solid piece is where we're going to flow traffic, and we're actually flowing it through the diode between point to point, right? So we're creating this diode here around this direction here. So these two here are these two there, and then these two here, which are the switch components, are the two here connected to the red and yellow LEDs, and the switch, like a light switch kind of side, is going to actually be this resistor right here, right? This resistor that's actually connected to the power. Okay. I think that's the way I would look at this, and what I would suggest. So then I also went out and, right, so if I looked at the right here, right, I had to put glasses on and zoom it in a little to get to the actual circuit itself. I found the circuit itself, and I searched for documentation on that. So I basically typed in Tongling JQC-T78- right. This is the actual, that's the device, that's the manufacturer. I look for specs, and then right here on the Tongling's website, I found the actual specs for this particular relay, right? So this is the relay that's used in this particular setup here. So what I wanted to do now is I wanted to slide down to find that same graphic, right? Here's that same graphic, okay? And I believe, right, if you look at this Form A is missing a pin, right? So Form A is missing a pin here, and if you look, you've got pins on both sides. So you have Form C, which is if we look at the graphic, you'll see that it has, right, it has both pieces. Okay, so on using this diagram here, I can look at this relay and go, these two are my switches, right? So these two match the SparkFun. Let me find the SparkFun piece, right? These two pins match the SparkFun, these two pins. Okay, so I'm not sure how this is actually mounted in to the board, but let's say the two pins are here and here, right? So what I would do is I would take this yellow wire that's going over here to the right? That's going over, we got red here. So red goes to the yellow and yellow goes to the red. So these two wires here, I would match to this corner and to this corner. And then on this side, right, we've got these other 3 pins. We've got a pin here, and a pin kind of dead center. Okay, so this looks like this is the diode pin. Okay, and we'd have to play with the direction on this one, but that means that your diode, these 2 pieces here, right, this white wire that you have here, right, which is this wire, I'm trying to figure out where that white wire goes. Oh, the white wire is this one here, and then there's a blue wire that goes here. So these 2 wires right here on this diagram would need to go lined up on this pin over here. So they would be lined up over here on the top with this pin, and then these 2 wires, this one here that goes over to the transistor and this one here that goes to the diode, those 2 would need to be lined up on the bottom over here, and then the resistor here should plug in to this line here. So it would be kind of dead center wherever that wire is, wherever that pin is connected here. So in this case, for this relay, I would move the yellow wire up, as long as you have it in the board like this, right? So as long as this pin and this pin are the switch pins, right? And this side over here has these other 3, right? These 3 pieces here. Okay, then I would line up, right? My diode is on the top and the bottom, and then my resistor is in the middle. So I would rewire that. If I had one, I would rewire it and walk you through that. But essentially what you're doing is you're going to set this relay into this circuit. You're going to move these 2 wires over to this other side, right, to match where these pins are here. And then you're going to move this resistor to the middle to match this pin. So what I'm trying to see, or what I'm trying to match here is, I'm going to go back and bring up, so here's this is the switch, right? So you see how what I'm trying to do is this pin and this pin, okay, or these 2 pins, okay, and then this pin and this pin, right, are these ones here where we have the break, right? There's a break here, and then this last pin here, which is this pin over here, it's going to match to this this input pin here, which is actually the switch back and forth. I believe if you wire it that way, you will be able to get it to function. The other possible thing, like if you wire it and you move these 2 wires over to this side, and you move this resistor up to the middle, and the yellow up to the top, and the red to the bottom, right, and you're still not getting movement, what you may want to then consider is this diode here. Remember, because the diode is only a one direction, which, by the way, this is actually plugged in backwards. There's the black should be on this side over here. You may want to switch this around, because that may be just the current may be only going one direction. So I would try that. Like if you have a relay that's not the same relay, I would try to figure out, find the mapping of the pins, find the mapping of the current, like your normal setup, the one that we're supposed to be using, and then map the pieces, map each of these to the right place, and then plug the appropriate wires into the correct location. So I don't know, I'm hoping that that helps. I know it may seem confusing, but in the end, right, this is a simple relay, right, and it's got the same format, right? It's got the same the same pass-through components that the other relay that we're using has. So as long as we understand that we need where the wires need to go, right? We're trying to match where the wires go, right? In this case, right, we're plugging it into the breadboard sideways, so that this wire, and this wire we're going to pull them off this way on the rows, okay? But I think with that, you should be able to, or with these things, you should be able to actually put in a different relay and adjust your wiring to match your relay. to get the relay system to work. Okay, I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, right, let me know, and we'll take it from there.